Human trafficking ring that spanned years on the Treasure Coast is shut down. How he coerced some of his victims and the time he faces behind bars. An arrest made and disturbing new details tonight in the case that spanned 4 years. How investigators were able to find the person responsible. Police say a drive-by shooting that happened in West Palm Beach this week was a targeted attack. The new video police released of the incident and how it all unfolded.
This is CBS 12 News at 11.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Jim Grimes. Liz has the evening off. We're seeing a lot of rain across parts of our area. This is what the radar looks like behind me. We're also going to see a dip in our temperatures for our weekend. Our Vetus Reed joining us with the latest.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get some changes our way, and it's involving that front that pushed through. This is the same cold front that caused a lot of havoc over parts of the South, over Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, into Georgia, and the panhandle of Florida. Right now, we just have these showers that are draped across South Florida. Front slowed down as we usually see, and that's kind of normal. Front still sitting up north of Tampa, but ahead of it, we were seeing the rain showers. It was a little heavier and stronger storms earlier today, north and west of Lake Okeechobee, but it looks like those are just widely scattered. We're starting to get a little bit of rain that's moving into Palm Beach County. Wellington right now, a little bit of rain coming down, as well as western suburbs of West Palm Beach. Indiantown getting a little rain too. Scanning the skies, looking at Stewart, Hope Sound, Tequesta getting some rain up around Jupiter, a little heavy downpour, but really the heaviest core right now is just west of the airport, Southern Boulevard, Wellington out there. It looks like we'll continue to see that come down. So tonight, expected to see those temperatures around 66 degrees. Can't rule out a little rumble of thunder, but it looks like we'll see a few storms out there. And then for your wake up, it looks like we'll start off with some sun and clouds. Those fronts will kind of move through a little bit. The showers will, but we'll see temperatures around 63 to 68 degrees. A little bit of a cool start. We'll warm up into the 70s. Sunrise will be at 7:02 a.m. I'll have a closer look at timing your weekend out for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Vetus. We'll see you in just a bit. Well, a tragic mystery has been finally solved. It took 4 years to do it, but using DNA matching technology, investigators have found the person behind the death of a newborn baby who was found floating in the Boynton Beach Inlet years ago. CBS 12's Lily Ortiz is outside the Palm Beach County Jail tonight with how detectives were able to track down the person responsible.
Yeah, those details just gut-wrenching. The mystery of the death of baby June has come to an end 4 years later. The big break in the case, using new type of DNA technology. And now that mother, Araya Singh, remains here in jail and is expected to make her first appearance in the morning. 29-year-old Araya Singh in handcuffs this morning, hiding her face from our camera. She is being escorted into the Palm Beach County Jail. Arrested in connection to the death of the infant found floating in the ocean on June 1st, 2018, nicknamed Baby June.
We finally can lay this baby to rest. There's been a lot of question marks surrounding her death, and now we have an idea of what happened to her.
According to Detective Singh, who works as a security guard at Lynn University in Boca Raton, gave birth to the baby girl the day before, on May 30th, in a hotel room toilet. Investigators say at the time she was a student at FAU and put the body in a backpack and went to class.
She had the baby in the hotel room bathroom. She didn't know she was pregnant until she saw that the baby had come out. She said the baby landed in the water, and then she went and she passed out. She didn't pick up the baby or check on her at all.
Baby June was discovered about 40 hours later by an off-duty firefighter who was out in the water catching bait. He first thought it was a baby doll.
We were just out there catching bait, just doing our normal thing out there, having fun in the afternoon, and then the day changed all of a sudden.
Since the devastating discovery, deputies have been searching for the mother and for answers.
When you see an newborn infant floating in the ocean that somebody has discarded like a piece of trash, it tugs at your heart.
Officials use the same genealogy database that was used in the arrest of Joseph James D'Angelo, the Golden State Killer out of California.
We built a family tree from the child's DNA that identified the father. From interviews with the father, a mother was potentially identified, and we did confirm that DNA with the mother.
They ultimately arrested Singh at her Boynton Beach home Thursday. She has no criminal record and add she doesn't have any other children. Right now, officials say the baby's father is not facing any charges.
We came to the conclusion that she's the mother and that she was solely responsible for the baby ending up in the Boynton Beach Inlet.
And right now she's being held here on a first-degree murder charge, and we will be there in the morning in court where she's expected to face a judge for her first appearance. In West Palm Beach, Lily Ortiz, CBS 12 News.
Well, new tonight, a man and teenager that were shot in a drive-by on Tuesday afternoon have been released from the hospital. West Palm Beach police say that shooting, as it turns out, was targeted. 16-year-old and 21-year-old received minor injuries after they were shot at 10th Street and Tamarind Avenue. Police say 2 arrests have been made but have not officially been charged. Police releasing the video today of that shooting. You can see the black car as it drives by a store and the crowd begins scattering. While the West Palm Beach Police Department were searching for the 2 suspects in that case, officers ended up stumbling upon something else. They found 5 handguns, marijuana, and ammunition that were found stashed outside a nearby abandoned building. A Fort Pierce man who was already in prison now facing new charges for human trafficking and manslaughter. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement say that Daniel Rhodes is suspected of operating a human trafficking ring out of several hotels and motels along the Treasure Coast. It spanned over years. Detectives say Rhodes advertised women for commercial sex over the internet and then gave the victims drugs to coerce them into the prostitution. He also is accused of giving fentanyl and cocaine to a woman in a motel room who ended up overdosing. Rhodes was already serving a sentence for selling meth. He'll be brought back to the St. Lucie County Jail to face a judge. A former Okeechobee County construction employee has been arrested for grand theft. Samuel Valletta. He's suspected of selling thousands of dollars from a former employer. According to a news release from Slayton Construction, Valletta had been hired to run the day-to-day operations. The owner started getting complaints, however, and hired a private audit company that showed Valletta had taken customers' money and not completed some of the jobs. The owner had contacted authorities. After 2 years, he was eventually arrested and charged. The owner now says he's glad it's over and says he's settled with everyone who may have been scammed by Valletta. Well, a Central Florida pastor and his son have been arrested for scamming $8 million from the federal government. The DOJ now says Evan Edwards and his son Josh ended up setting up a fake ministry. This was back in 2020. The indictment alleges that the father and son had submitted fraudulent PPP loan applications. That's the payroll protection program. They ended up claiming their ministry had average monthly payroll expenses of more than $2.7 million and 480 employees. But in reality, the federal government says those numbers were non-existent. Last year, the Justice Department did take that money back, but they are now prosecuting that pair on criminal charges. Well, it's now official. The state's insurance commissioner is out. David Altmaier submitting a letter of resignation tonight. We knew this was coming after earlier this week, Senator Lori Berman spilled the beans as she questioned Altmaier during a meeting in Tallahassee on Wednesday. Take a listen.
So it's come to my attention that you are going to be leaving the office very shortly. Could you tell us when you're leaving and what will happen, how we'll be able to continue to get on?
We stick to the bill, Senator Berman.
Well, how are we going to get the information which is what this bill is based on if he's no longer the commissioner?
Well, there's the exchange. Altmaier ended up didn't deny, however, that he was leaving. He told the Senate office that he would share data no matter who was in charge. Moving on, while he's not saying where he's going, he is leaving just before the state's new law kicks in. It prevents top government regulators like him from being able to turn their public service into a lucrative career as a government lobbyist. Meantime, lawmakers have wrapped up that special session to address the homeowner insurance crisis. The bill is expected to be signed by the governor very soon. The changes will eliminate the big attorney payouts on claims, also reduce the number of lawsuits, and offer reinsurance to offset carriers' risk through a taxpayer-funded program. Growing number of critics say that this latest bill has virtually no benefit to the public, but it will help insurers to make more money. Meantime, police shut down a pipeline of illegal narcotics on the Treasure Coast. Port St. Lucie police arrested 3 people who had seized more than 10,000 pills in a joint operation with the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. According to investigators, the suspects all worked together to sell those drugs. This is the 3 of them. Apparently, many of those drugs have been laced with deadly fentanyl.
Could cause 20 overdoses to 130 overdoses. You don't know. The lives we saved could be countless at this point. We'll find you, we're going to get you, and we're going to take you off the street.
The bust is one of several recent fentanyl drug busts along the Treasure Coast. The police say it's sending a message now to those drug dealers. All of this comes as the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Commissioner Mark Glass released a video message this week. It's warning about the dangers of fentanyl. Last year, almost 6,000 people died in Florida due to overdoses. Glass says fentanyl's high potency and low cost have made it popular among drug dealers who often lace their illegal recreational drugs with it. Well, the parents of Miami native Deshaun Perry, one of the 3 University of Virginia football players shot and killed last month by a fellow student, are now speaking out publicly for the first time. At a news conference this afternoon, they were asked the football world to, especially all of the young people, to use their voice to stop gun violence. Deshaun's mother says that she had just gotten off the phone with her son when that shooting took place. She says that she doesn't want any other family to have to experience the pain she's felt.
We need to change gun laws. Change them. We need more stipulations. The red flags were there, and this young man was still able to purchase a firearm. And that in itself is a red flag for our nation.
Perry and 2 of his teammates were killed when a fellow player opened fire on a bus as it was returning from the UVA campus after a class field trip. That suspect, former walk-on football player Christopher Darnell Jones Jr., now facing multiple charges. Parents at a Central Florida high school want more involvement in what books are being chosen for their children to read at the school library. We're going to tell you about the controversy already brewing and tornadoes ripping across 7 southern states this week. They caused some major destruction. We're going to take a closer look at that damage when we return. Well, one community in Central Florida seeking more involvement in the school district's purchase of nearly 40,000 books for the school library. Those books are set to fill the libraries of Polk County Public School District, 2 of their elementary schools. Well, the district's media specialist team has already approved them. However, residents, they not only want their chance to weigh in, but they're also asking for a little more time to do it.
The sudden drop of 37,000 plus books into 2 new schools without citizen review is a problem. I understand that media personnel have reviewed all this information. I question in what time period they could have done that.
Some parents also cited a district policy granting them at least 30 days to review and petition those materials, but the superintendent says that doesn't apply in this case. A vote to approve a new list has been delayed until January. Brightline will soon be running through stations over in Boca Raton and Aventura. Those are brand new stations. The high-speed rail service announcing tickets will also be on sale for those launches. The trains will start making stops there next week. In fact, on Wednesday. One-way tickets start as low as $10 and can be purchased on Brightline's app or at its website. Well, take a look. Extreme weather hitting parts of the South, leaving a trail of destruction along that path. More than 50 tornadoes have been reported across 7 states since early Tuesday morning. So far, 20 have been confirmed. 3 people, in fact, died in Louisiana. Reports also coming in from Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Buildings and homes were destroyed and downed power lines could be seen all across that area. The National Weather Service also confirming now it was a twister that touched down in Florida this afternoon. This is over in the St. Petersburg area. You can see a tree uprooted here, someone's front yard. Also, another tree apparently fell down on top of a church, but no injuries were reported. This come from a series of storms that had swept through the Tampa Bay area. Officials say those wind speeds reached close to 100 miles an hour. Our chief meteorologist, Fetus Reed, joining us right now. That's some serious stuff there.
Yeah, we had a slight risk category stretching across from the eastern portion of the state to that area earlier today because that same cold front does create a lot of instability in the atmosphere. You can get that tornadic activity. That was one of the threats, but that threat level has diminished coming across our region, which we expected as it made its way across southern portions of Okeechobee County and then through the lake. So it looks like West Palm Beach right now looking at PBIA airport looking pretty good. We do have mostly cloudy skies out there with a few spotty showers coming down. That's that front that helped spawn those showers and those storms. We have 2 systems here. One is on the warmer side, and that is keeping us in check with our temperatures, especially this weekend. Cooler air following that, but the colder air is up here towards Chicago. That's where we're getting that snowfall, and they're going to continue to see a little of that piling up for them as they go through the next 24 hours across Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois. But for us, we're going to see this continue to push through, and as it does through for the the next couple of days here. It's going to help us spawn maybe a few clouds and some showers. Remaining showers along that line are moving through Palm Beach County right now. A little closer look here. We can see some of those showers that are pushing just east of Belglade over portions of Wellington, western portions of West Palm Beach. We'll get a little bit of shower activity moving through up around Stewart as well. Southerly flow, winds anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting up to about 13 there in Wellington with that rain moving through. We'll hold on to that southerly flow as we go through the day tomorrow. What that's going to do is also create a little bit of issues for rip currents. Now, small craft advisory has been allowed to expire, but for tomorrow we could get another one out there with those waves a little bit choppy on the open waters of the ocean. Hour by hour, starting our day off tomorrow morning, we'll see those temperatures in the mid-upper 60s, so we'll get some sun and clouds to start our day. Well, not too bad, but as the day progresses, we could get a few raindrops mixing in there as we get into that 1 to 2 o'clock hour, but I think it'll be widely scattered. That front's still lingering to the north, so that creates a little bit of lift in the atmosphere to create a little bit of cloud cover, kind of like what we had today, but the chances for rain will be lower. We'll probably see about a 20% chance for those showers, maybe a little rumble of thunder in the afternoon, and then it'll taper off as we get into the evening hours on Friday night. So your temperatures will look like this. 72 degrees actually in Wellington, 75 Lake Worth, high of about 76 Delray, Boca 76 degrees. Moving up the coast here, Jupiter 74 for high. You get inland, maybe a couple of 80s there in Jupiter Farms and Royal Palm. West Palm 76 degrees, and we go a little further north from Stewart, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce. We're looking at lower 70s, Okeechobee 71 for your highs. Hour by hour, looks like we see the clouds diminishing a little bit tonight. Little sun and clouds in the morning. Then you get into the afternoon, we get that northerly flow. The model's not trying to pick up on rain, so it's going to be a very low potential for those showers. But then as we get into Saturday, a little bit of sun and clouds. The front is kind of retracting back up into the state. We'll get a few more pop-ups from possible showers out there. Only 20% chance tomorrow, 50% chance on Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at a little bit of rain possibly, so we're looking Saturday and Sunday, a few pop-up showers here and there across the area. Temperatures a little cool in the mid to lower 70s. 10-day forecast coming up.
Thanks, Vetus. Well, volunteers of all ages went to Palm Beach Gardens this evening to spread a little holiday cheer for families across the country. Families from Palm Beach County showing their appreciation to those people who've served our nation. They are now sending hundreds of gifts to families who have lost loved ones in the military. Hundreds of boxes were loaded into delivery trucks. Photos from that event show boxes filled with FedEx trucks from floor to ceiling. More than 900 boxes were loaded and over 1,600 gifts for children were collected. The gifts were now making their way to homes of the fallen soldiers. Well,
in 2019, Stacey Fergang's HOA board alerted homeowners that AT&T would be digging and installing upgraded fiber optic lines for customers in the area. That project wound up costing her thousands after her sewage line was damaged.
It was months of me fighting on my own. Literally one person against a major corporation just being ignored. And I was nervous about going on the news, again, that it would make things worse.
When she felt she had nowhere else to turn, she called CBS 12 News. That's when we reported that a plumber had documented the AT&T cable sleeve right where her sewage line was damaged. Information we shared with the company when we asked for a comment on the story. Stacey says it wasn't long before her phone started ringing.
It wasn't until I reached out to you that literally things just started moving rapidly. I was contacted by a representative from AT&T who sent out a crew to verify that the line was in fact theirs. And within a few days, I had a check for the full replacement value of the damages. I can't thank you enough. And especially this time of year, it's such a blessing.
CBS 12 News reached out to AT&T to find out what had changed. A company spokesman replied with a statement which read in part, "As we install AT&T fiber and improve connectivity in more communities, our goal is to minimize the impact on residents as much as possible. In this instance, there was some confusion around the initial claim."
And that was our Lena Salzbank reporting. As for Stacey, well, she got all her money back for the holidays and there's no more sewage leaking in her home. Well, before we head to the break, here's a look at our Drone 12 flying over West Palm Beach. We'll be right back.
I'm Gian Jeffcoat. Tomorrow morning on the National Desk, America's News Now. While Congress battles to keep the government from shutting down, wasteful government spending takes no holiday. We're going to uncover our latest waste of the week tomorrow on the National Desk. America's News Now, weekday mornings.
CBS 12 News Sports Report.
Panthers looking to win their second straight, haven't won 3 straight all year. Ryan Lomberg puts the rebound side door. He was at the West Palm Beach VA Medical Center yesterday spreading some holiday joy. Evgeny Malkin, not very joyous here, scores a goal but gets hurt. 3-1 Pittsburgh. Sam Reinhart gets one back midway through the third, but not enough. It's the Penguins winning 4-2. The Cats just cannot get a winning streak going.
The Miami Dolphins equipment managers have their work cut out for them over the next few days, getting prepared for the cold and snowy weather of Buffalo. The weather will definitely feel like the holiday season, and the Dolphins players are already making their Christmas wish lists.
Fins wins. That's what I want. Fins wins.
Yeah, easy ask for Dolphins linebacker Jalen Phillips. Not so easy game plan against one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL, Josh Allen. Adding to the stress, as mentioned, will be the snow that is forecasted. Difficult for either team to play in a cold Buffalo after sundown, no less, on Saturday night. Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert, he's looking on the bright side, sees this as a no-brainer moment to get the running game back on track in what has become a must-win situation for an 8-5 Dolphins team looking to avoid their 3rd straight loss smack in the middle of a playoff race.
It's going to be a ground type of game, I guess you could say. That's what I like to see it as. You know, going to be some more carries or whatever. You know, if we could throw the ball, that'd be beautiful. But I feel like snow and rain are quite similar. The ball might be a little bit tougher. You know, I think the cold really makes it a lot harder to catch. Running backs do a little bit better in the cold because they're ready for handoffs.
Well, the Dolphins need to take care of their own business, but we'll be closely watching the 7-6 New York Jets neck and neck in the playoff hunt, hosting the Lions right here on CBS 12 on Sunday, 1 p.m., followed by the Bengals and Bucks at 4:25 on CBS 12 News. The Florida State pride of Palm Beach County, Jordan Travis, is already getting Heisman Trophy buzz for 2023 after announcing he will return to the Seminoles. The former Benjamin High School star, he broke out as one of the top QBs in the country this season. We'll get to see Travis one more time this season as the Noles prepare to take on Oklahoma in Orlando at the Cheez-It Bowl on December 29th. A chance for FSU to win 10 games for the first time since 2016 while playing in their first bowl game since 2019. Travis may be even more composed than he's been all season long now that his decision to come back has been announced.
That took a lot of weight off my shoulders. I was thinking about it a lot. Just couldn't wait to get it out there. I was trying really hard. I was trying to push it out there, but they wanted to make the timing right. I just felt I needed another year just to keep growing, showing what I could do. I feel like I improved a lot this year. But yeah, I have had a lot of unfinished business. Won a championship.
Well, Travis is the 4th quarterback in FSU history with over 30 touchdowns and 3,000 plus total yards in a season, joining Heisman Trophy winners Charlie Ward, Chris Wenke, and Jameis Winston. We'll be sure to stay tuned to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert right after CBS 12 News at 11 o'clock. Tonight's guest is Andy Cohen.
Final look at that 10-day forecast. Going into the weekend, we'll see those temperatures in the mid-70s, 76 degrees in West Palm, but further north, lower 70s, 20% chance for maybe a pop-up shower. Saturday, a better chance for some pop-up scattered showers, about a 50% chance through the afternoon, 77. A little cooler on Sunday, 72. Early next week, on and off showers, but we'll get some sun in the mix as well.
Thanks, Vitas. Well, volunteers of all ages in Palm Beach Gardens tonight meeting to spread a little holiday cheer for families across the nation. These are the families from Palm Beach who are showing their appreciation for those who served. They are now sending hundreds of gifts to families who lost loved ones in the military. Hundreds of boxes now being loaded up in delivery trucks. Photos from the event show boxes filling the FedEx trucks from floor to ceiling. More than 900 of them, in fact, loaded, and more than 1,600 gifts for children were also collected during that drive. That's pretty terrific. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tune in and watch CBS 12 News this morning starting at 4:30 a.m. Have a great evening, everyone.